The homicide investigation underway in Birmingham.
Police say she and another person were shot last night after a big fight broke out between multiple people, including the victim.
"21-year-old Asia Poole was a focused, determined, and hard-working young woman who always had her mind set on accomplishing a new goal. Most importantly, she was a devoted mother to her 4-year-old baby girl and was even enrolled in nursing school to ensure a stable future for both her and her daughter. Although her life was filled with joy and the occasional struggle when it came to raising her daughter, Asia recently considered moving out of state for a fresh start. Sadly, the father of Asia's daughter would be killed roughly 1 month ago, on July 26, something she was still struggling to overcome. She wanted to start a new chapter in her life, leave Alabama for good. Sadly, a sinister chain of events would soon occur that would change Asia and her daughter's lives forever. Just before 10 p.m. on August 20th, Birmingham police responded to the Monarch Ridge Apartments, formerly known as Valley Brooks Apartments, for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would find a chaotic scene and an unresponsive young woman lying in the breezeway of an apartment building.
A deadly shooting at a Birmingham apartment complex.
A 21-year-old woman shot to death after a fight broke out last night at the Monarch Ridge Apartments.
And many people were outside when this happened, and some even live streamed the fight and the shooting. Nobody at this point is in custody.
The victim was identified as 21-year-old Asia Poole, who was sadly pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to multiple gunshot wounds. Just 1 month after her child's father, and during the same week, her daughter starts her first day of school. One of Asia's friends, who actually picked her up the moment she fell during the shooting, was also injured and suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
Rankin says it's a fight they didn't start, and he certainly didn't think would end with Poole's death.
We have some people pulling up ready to fight her. They got the fight. The girl took my best friend's car. Next minute you know, shots went off.
According to Rankins, at the root, a fight on social media over a shared love interest. Police continue to investigate. So far, there have been no arrests. But while Rankins will miss his best friend, her absence is being felt more at home.
That baby had a wonderful mama. Mama did not mind coming off nothing, spending nothing. Mama was nice, mama was sweet. Mama was mama.
A young life cut short by gun violence.
Does the drama seem small?
Yeah, the drama is very small. It's literally so little.
The events leading to Asia's death began with a fight in the parking lot of an apartment complex between her and another female. The fight was reportedly triggered by online disputes, possibly involving a boy. Although Asia didn't live at the apartment complex, she felt comfortable meeting there to fight because some of her family members lived there. After the fight was over and the two girls were split up, the group of people originally surrounding the fight began to argue. Apparently, Asia won the fight, and the other girl was angry, claiming to have been tired while she was fighting. Next thing you know, the girl flees towards Asia's vehicle and drives away with 2 other individuals before Asia's sister allegedly begins firing towards the vehicle. Now here is where everything went left. The occupants of the vehicle began firing back towards the direction where the initial shots were fired, prompting everyone to run. Asia attempted to run away and was shot dead in the process. Asia was live streaming when the terrifying moments unfolded, capturing the sound of gunshots echoing throughout the complex as she tried to escape. In the video, the anguished cries of Asia's siblings can be heard as they discover her lifeless body, a heartbreaking scene that no family should ever have to endure. In the morning after the shooting, many children stayed home because they were afraid to go to the bus stop, afraid there would be more gunfire or even retaliation. Although this has not been confirmed or denied, someone on Facebook posted the following. So basically, she got her baby daddy killed by inviting girls to pull up on her to fight, and then that fight went south and he loses his life. And then she pulls up to fight and loses her life. Ladies, y'all gotta stop with all of this. Asia was a pretty young lady, but she was always in some mess. Rest in peace to that little girl's parents. Asia's vehicle was subsequently found abandoned in the parking lot of J Wings on Center Point Parkway. Police have not yet released the official number of shots fired, but estimate it could exceed at least 150 shots. Residents and witnesses described the shooting as something out of a movie and suggested it appeared premeditated. Multiple shooters were involved, with some wearing masks and armed with assault rifles and guns equipped with Glock switches. The spray of bullets hit multiple cars and several apartments, with bullet holes shattering one woman's glass table. A resident who wished to remain anonymous out of fear of retaliation said the following: "They came prepared for this. They were so organized. They had everything blocked off, and everyone rallied up. In fact, there were at least 3 people initially shooting towards the breezeway, where Asia was ultimately killed. After the initial shots, another person emerged from a different breezeway and opened fire. Shots then rang out from every direction. Police believe that once the shooting began, multiple individuals not originally involved in the fight also started firing, striking Asia at least 2 times. According to residents in the area, violence is nothing new to the complex. Things will get better for a brief moment, then ramp right back up. It has been a hotspot for shootings and homicides on and off for years, and was even the subject of a previous legal action by the city of Birmingham. The city of Birmingham in June of 2021 filed a lawsuit against Still Valley Brook LLC, arguing that Monarch Ridge was a public nuisance. The suit came a month after a 29-year-old father was killed at the complex. When the city sued, it said police officers have responded to at least 2 homicides and 4 other gun-related incidents since February 7, 2021. The suit was settled 2 months later when the owner agreed to pay $15,000 to the city's Neighborhood Revitalization Fund, keep using a license plate reader and sharing data with Birmingham police, and make the complex's surveillance system accessible to the police department's crime center. At the time, the agreement called for the owner to employ a gate guard from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. daily, keep using off-duty Jefferson County Sheriff's deputies for security patrols, and cooperate with the city on a 90-day study of whether more security measures were needed. The city agreed to dismiss the lawsuit, with the court enforcing the settlement for 1 year. Birmingham Mayor Randall Woodfin and City Attorney Nicole King said they are investigating the next steps to take against the owners of the complex. The shooters have 2 options. They can immediately turn themselves in to Birmingham police or be hunted down by BPD and U.S. Marshals. In the meantime, the residents are pleading for help. In their words, the firepower is out of control, and officers' weapons are no match for those used by criminals. Once again, another innocent child left without a mother and a father, or even her maternal grandmother, who sadly passed away in 2017. The cycle continues.
Hundreds of shots were fired here last night, and what we're seeing out here in the daylight certainly corroborates that. Take a look at just this one car, a bullet hole here in the trunk, another at the top of the trunk, one through the window, and then one on this other side next to the gas tank. The shooting happened after 2 women, one reportedly the victim, Asia Poole, got into a fist fight. And then right after that fist fight was broken up, that's when we heard the shots fired. Witnesses described what happened here last night as something like World War III. This Monarch Ridge apartment building bears the scars of what played out here Tuesday night. Hundreds of bullets went through the walls and windows into apartments, shattered car windows, and flattened tires. In the hail of gunfire, 21-year-old Asia Poole was shot and killed.
We're talking about a 22-year-old that has lost her life, and not a criminal anymore, has left a 4-year-old to be fatherless and motherless.
Her neighbors didn't want us to show their faces or use their names in fear of retaliation, but they say what started as a fistfight between Poole and another woman ended in what they describe as an ambush.
It was like 4 or 5 cars. But they were parked. Like they was parked in different angles. Like it really last night. If you was out here, they had this whole other section towards us blocked in and shoot. Like it wasn't no way to get out of here. You didn't have no other choice but get out on the ground. Like.
The fight was being streamed live on social media and caught audio of the more than 3 minutes of gunfire that they say involved pistols and automatic weapons. This is a small part of what they heard.
It is alarming that the amount of people that were present and did not intervene in the fight to, keep the situation from happening. It is sad.
Witnesses say if anyone had intervened, they'd be dead as well.
A lot of people are afraid to get out and talk. A lot of people are afraid to get involved and or etc. because they are afraid of the youth now and with all the gun violence.
Just 2 days after the brutal and senseless shooting, Birmingham police would announce the arrest of not one, not two, but 3 suspects. 19-year-old Janiah Hendricks, the girl who was fighting Asia, is charged with theft of property with additional charges possible. Janiah's brother, 20-year-old Justin Hendricks, and 22-year-old Taylor McLeod are charged with murder and attempted murder. Police say they believe more shooters were involved and that there will possibly be more arrests as the investigation continues.
Police say today that they are glad to announce the first arrest in this case. Again, a young mother was left dead after this shooting. They say more than 168 rounds were fired. Another man is still recovering from his injuries after that shooting. We want to show you the mugshots that police gave us today. They say that 19-year-old Janiah Hendricks is charged with theft. She is the person Asia Poole was fighting the night that Poole was killed. Authorities allege that she stole Asia's car. 20-year-old Justin Hendricks, Janiah's brother, is charged with murder and attempted murder. 22-year-old Taylor McLeod is also charged with murder and attempted murder. These are the first arrests again in this case, coming just days after the shootout at the Monarch Ridge Apartments Tuesday night. Police say Asia Poole died and another man was injured. The entire shooting stemming from a fight. They say those accused went back to that complex and really fired all those rounds, 168 rounds, police said today. Even so that many of the apartments in that complex were shot into.
This heartbreaking loss serves as a powerful reminder of the devastating toll gun violence takes on families and communities. Asia's story is more than just a headline. It's the story of a sister, daughter, a mother whose life was tragically cut short. The case remains ongoing.
The Birmingham Police Department would like to provide an update to the shooting and homicide that occurred on Tuesday, August 20th at approximately 10 p.m. at the 2900 block of Gallant Drive. A physical altercation occurred between our homicide victim and another female. At some point, gunfire erupted and approximately 168 rounds were fired from multiple shooters. During the shooting, the homicide victim was shot and killed, and the male was injured by gunfire. Numerous vehicles and apartments were also damaged by gunfire. The Birmingham Police Department has arrested Justin Hendricks, black male, 20 years of age. He is charged with murder with no bond, and he's also charged with attempted murder with a $60,000 bond. We've also arrested Taylor McLeod, a black male, 22 years of age. He is charged with murder with no bond and also attempted murder with a $60,000 bond. Janiah Hendricks, black female, 19 years of age, is also charged with theft of property, first degree, and has a $30,000 bond. The Birmingham Police Department would like to thank the Mountain Brook Police Department for their assistance, as well as those who provided information to investigators to further this investigation. Thank you.
So how did Mountain Brook get involved in this?
They just had some information and played a pivotal role, I guess, if you will, without getting too much into the investigation.
So I know there's been a history of violence at this apartment complex. You've told us now that their cameras that they had on property were not feeding into the real-time crime center. So what's assisted you all in this investigation, and do you know the last time that these cameras were feeding to you?
They never did feed to us. The cameras do work, and their footage is available, so we were able to access that to help further our investigation, but there again, they were supposed to be feeding into our real-time crime center.
Do you expect more people to be charged? I mean, how many people do you think were shooting that night, and do you expect more charges?
We do believe there were more shooting than just these two. This is an ongoing investigation, so we'll just see where that leads us.
Did y'all ever determine how many shots were fired?
Approximately 168.
The young woman who was arrested, is she the young woman who was fighting with the victim?
I don't have that information.
And we had a shootout in the College Hills neighborhood. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the ring camera footage. You know, it sounded like dozens and dozens of rounds fired. This was the same situation, over 150 rounds fired in this situation. How are you guys combating that? It seems like Glock switches are an issue. I know you guys are partnering with the ATF, but I mean, how can you stop these Glock switches from getting into the hands of the wrong people?
That's a challenge. You know, they're just as prevalent as firearms. So it's a challenge. I mean, we've taken over 1,100 guns off the streets of Birmingham just this year. In previous years, we've taken over 2,000 guns off the street in those years as well. So our officers are working very hard every day to take illegal guns off the streets. We use our shot spotter data and other things. You know, we're prosecuting these individuals federally. We've also spoken with our state legislators about filing legislation to make Glock switches illegal at the state level as well.
Can you speak to the reaction of Asia's family when they found out of this news of these arrests?
I'm sure they were happy, but it still doesn't bring back their loved one. And so, you know, we can never bring her back, unfortunately. But this is a step in the right direction to give them some sort of closure and let them know that law enforcement is working very hard to close not only this case, but all of our homicide cases.
Did you all use the social media streams to assist you in any of your investigation?
Yes. Yes.
Well, are there going to be any more arrests? There's a lot of people out there.
So what I can say is this is an ongoing investigation. This is just one phase of it. There's still more to be done, and so we'll continue to investigate until we can find everyone involved.
The mayor had said, you know, an all-call case, so pretty much to the suspect, saying they can either turn themselves in or be found by law enforcement. Are you able to say which one they did? They turned themselves in to police?
No one turned themselves in. We physically went out and found them and arrested them.
I know that the two of them were taken into custody Wednesday night. Wednesday night. Was that a U.S. Marshal's arrest or?
That was Birmingham Police Department.
And then when was McLeod taken into custody?
I don't have that information.
Were all arrested in Birmingham, or were they arrested other places?
I believe one may have been arrested outside the city of Birmingham.
Is the person who survived the shooting, is he a suspect in this?
No.
The female that was charged with stealing Asia Poole's car, the woman that she was fighting with, was there consideration of stiffer charges against her?
So
she came to where Asia lived?
So what we do is we investigate, we present our findings to the district attorney. At that point in time, they determine what the appropriate charges will be. So that's up to them at that point in time. We just present our findings to them, and they determine what charges would be appropriate.
Can you speak to the terms that were set in the 2021 lawsuit through DMAT, and how many of those agreements in that settlement were actually being upheld today when this incident happened?
So that is something that was handled by the City of Birmingham's Office of City Attorney. So that's something that they'll deal with directly, not so much BPD.
There has been numerous incidents that has happened in Valley Brook. Are there any precautions that you all are taking to make sure that crime is,
You know, it's just like anywhere else in the city. I mean, our officers are out patrolling. There's things that the Office of the City Attorney is looking at as far as that location, and we'll see what the next steps will be as far as any further action.
All right, thank you, everyone.